From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Tonight we finish off Week 6 with a good Monday nighter, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Throwing on the first play from scrimmage, here's Burrow. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
And Mixon going to have a Bengals first down as the tackle going to be made up at the 37. The Bengals at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Short throw to Smith. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. You look at this Eagle defense. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Again, it's Mixon. Breaks a tackle. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, it's complete. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. This time Burrow will look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And Mixon going to have a Bengals first down as he'll take this down to the 26. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Nolan Smith brings him down on the pass rush.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. A pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced in the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Hurts to throw. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 2nd down and 3. Once again, they run with Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Hard throw, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Throwing is Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Second and 7, operating from the 34. Watkins in motion left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end. And that play going nowhere. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Here now a 3rd down and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now Burrow to throw on second down. Smith catches left side. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. Hurts. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Hurts trying to hurry up the offense.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down and 6 now. They'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line.
24-yard gain on the play. And an Eagle first down.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. it's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Jake Elliott readies for the field goal try. He was originally drafted by the Bengals. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone.
Isaiah Rodgers on the return. The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47.
On the option to give to Swift here. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he's got this down to the 35.
Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and cut back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8.
Back to throw here. The open man is Westbrook. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
DeAndre Swift,
31 yards.
and the Eagles are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Mixon with a first down carry.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Complete. Smith has it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Play action. It's Burrow. And he's got it. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Third and goal. Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Curtis Hodges, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
This is where, as a tight end, you've got to really sell that this is a run. They're going to fake the give, hope the linebackers bite, and here they do just enough. That split second, that's all it takes for that tight end to leak out into the end zone. Touchdown.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes it a 17-10 score.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off.
And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. He completes it to Ridley. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Mixon running wide side. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that's CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th.
There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
Can't give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Throwing is Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
On the option to give to Swift here.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Play action. Here's Hurts.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Sheds off the tackle. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Second down pass. Intercepted. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Burrow on play action.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Now it's Burrow. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Burrow will throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
17. Jake Elliott taking on for Philadelphia.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick-6 makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be.
And he'll be out right at the 35. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
Now a throw here to his running back. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 2.
Again, it's Mixon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
And Burrow going to keep it himself.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it.
Gain on the play. It's 4th down.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and we have reached the 2-minute warning.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
They'll look to throw.
And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it, but they've got to continue to move quickly.
On the option to give to Swift here.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I don't know if you need the big shot right there or not, because you've still got time to work some of the shorter stuff and try to get into field goal range. They did go for the big one there. It would have been nice, but it winds up incomplete.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical third down here.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals have just about sewn up this football game.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right, if it's college football, you want to make 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down, because in college football, the clock stops with every first down. It actually aids the defense in that situation.
Well, we all just got a heck of a show, partner. This was a close game for a long time. Close at half, close down the stretch. Home team finds a way to get it done, a narrow victory.
Yeah, they finished with a flourish.